Hey everybody, in this video, I want to go over the course overview page. Now, this page has a lot of words in it, and I'm not going to go over every single item. And then also, it's going to contain different information depending on the course that you're taking with me. So it's going to start with course description, moving on down to course layout and other information. And that leads me to the course layout, which will be basically the same across my classes. Number one, right here. Modules contain information. So I put weekly on there, but really, depending on how your course is set up, it might be that modules are 2 weeks, or maybe more, or maybe less. But they contain information such as links to assignments, discussions, lectures, and additional resources. New modules will be released the Sunday before the start of a new module. However, as my schedule allows, I might release these modules sooner because I know some students like to work ahead or just see what's coming up. So, number one, what does that mean? Well, don't just focus on the graded activities. In that case, don't just do your discussions, assignments, and discussions, and quizzes. That's because I provide, as I mentioned on here, additional resources depending on the module, depending on the class. So for example, I'm going to show you another class, the marketing principles, what that looks like. Under modules, they will typically be just one item in there. It'll be the overview and to-do list. So see, if you look at every module, I have it set up that way. However, it will be easy to miss information if you don't ever look at that. Like as I mentioned a minute or two ago, if you just focus on the graded activities, you're going to miss the overview video, which might contain additional information not captured anywhere else. And then there's going to be the to-do list, which goes beyond these graded activities. So if you look at this example, here are the graded activities starting at number 7, going all the way to number 11. However, there's other information on there, right? There's a course materials link. So that would take you to another page. So this is a specific example for this class. It might look different based on whatever class you're taking with me. The point is, there are going to be things that you're going to miss if you don't look at the overview page. Use the tentative weekly schedule in the course syllabus as a general overview of weekly activities. However, the due dates are subject to change, so refer to details in Canvas, announcement emails, and the calendar. With that said, let's see. I want to point you to the calendar real quick. So if you view the calendar, a useful feature on there is this calendar feed. So if you click on that, it will provide you with a link that you can copy, which you can then use to go to your Google Calendar or Outlook Calendar, or perhaps another type of calendar. I didn't really go beyond those first two, but every online calendar has a feature where you could add a calendar, and one of your options typically would be a URL. Well, this would be the URL that you can provide. So then you can have notifications that way on top of what else you might get from logging onto Canvas. So that would be a really useful feature. One last item I want to talk about is the nature of the course itself. So this is an asynchronous online course. What that means is that we don't have any set days and times that we meet that are required. If anything is going to be optional, or if it's really something about getting together based on whatever class you're taking with me and whatever projects might be in those courses, There will be times that it would be necessary to schedule a time to meet, but that's going to be tentative in nature. It'll be based on your availability and my availability. So it's not set. So that's an important distinction to remember. This format allows you to access course materials, complete assignments, and participate on your own schedule. However, we still do have a set schedule set by the instructor, me, and we want to adhere to those deadlines. Next section right there. Each new module will typically be available by Sunday, unless, of course, I make it available sooner. Pay attention to the various due dates and times as they are subject to change. The schedule on the course syllabus is merely a general guide. All changes will be communicated to you via email and Canvas. And that's why in another video, I mentioned how your account notifications should be set to where as soon as I publish an announcement that you receive an email. And then, of course, on top of that, a prerequisite to being in the know is to actually regularly check your email, which really, I would say, check every day throughout the semester. All due days and times are Central Time. And I put that line on there just to make it clear that we are operating in the Central Time Zone, regardless of whether that's Central Standard or Central Daylight. Because I know I've had students in the past where they live in a different time zone. So that's important to keep that straight. Then there's the course learning objective section, required textbook section, and then the netiquette. And I'll let you read through all of that based on whatever course you're taking with me.